Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, you.
So good to see you. So good to be back.
Yeah, it always seems, and you know, the week flies.
Yes.
It's like I'm all prepared, and then suddenly I think, geez, it's tomorrow already.
Yeah.
And I used to think that like a week was such a long time. You know, when you don't do radio, you think, you know what, I need to do this every day.
Yeah.
But actually, with all the preparation work we do, and because, you know, with the help of Feroza, we're able to do things online, but we still have to prep our guests, find our guests, decide the way the show is going to go.
Yeah.
It takes some work.
Absolutely. But it's always so exciting because coming to this show, we learn so much from our guests, and it's always great to have conversations with them.
I know, that's what I think I like about conversation radio.
Yeah.
I know they call it talk radio.
Yeah.
But talk radio sounds like we're talking at somebody. We're not talking with them. Conversation radio means that we're having a conversation. So if you're sitting on your couch at home, and hopefully you guys who have the app, send us some questions and be a part of the conversation.
Absolutely.
Because that allows us to learn a bit more and our guests to certainly learn a bit more.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much in Africa these days.
It looks like we are.
But
We're
I
not.
love being in Africa.
No.
Africa is so cool. And
Yeah.
I don't have to fly for 1,000,000 hours.
And yeah, shout out to our last guests last weekend. Last week we had a great show. The ambassador from Venezuela.
Oh, he was so
Yeah.
cute. He just smiled the whole time.
Yeah.
It was really awesome, actually. He just grinned and grinned and grinned. His smile wrapped around his head
Yeah.
when he talked about Venezuela. It was so awesome. And I think Sergio is going to be pretty much the same, because when I met Sergio outside, the first thing he did was smile. I thought, I love Africa, because the people who represent their countries tend to always have this really, really wide smile. And it's a smile that when you visit their countries, the same smile perpetuates from the time you get to customs until the time you reach your destination. And for me, that's always like my favorite part is the smile.
Absolutely.
And I think they teach their people, when you're in tourism, you smile.
Yes.
And you mean it, because it's got a smile from your eyes as well.
No, but also the smile is like your business card.
It is, hey?
Yeah, it's like your, it's like a window. It's like window dressing. So someone can look at you and say, yes, I want to approach you, or no, I don't want to approach you.
No, listen, I agree. And today, particularly, we've got Sergio, who is the Commercial Counsellor, Republic of Mozambique. Welcome.
Thank you.
See
Thank
the
you,
smile. Check the smile.
Thank you, Geniene. Thank you, Uncle Zach.
So
So good to be here.
it's so nice to have you here in our studio as well. And you know, just to learn more about Mozambique. And most of us grew up in Mozambique. I mean, at the end of the day, we grew up in Mozambique. Well, not grew up as such in the country, but grew up visiting. Because we used to be at the drive-in one night and my dad would say, let's go to Mozambique tomorrow. And we go, okay, let's go to Mozambique. And in those days, we had Capital Radio. And Capital Radio and LM Radio were competing.
Yeah.
And LM Radio, of course, was out of Mozambique because they weren't allowed to broadcast out of South Africa because they would compete against the SABC.
Oh.
And Mozambique allowed us to come into Mozambique and broadcast from there on AM. So Lorenzo Marx is where John Burke started. All of those guys started in LM.
Oh,
It's what
really?
we knew then as Lorenzo Marx.
Wow.
Because it wasn't always called Mozambique. It was called Lorenzo Marx.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and I remember when we were little, we would drive to well then Lorenzo Marx. What was the capital then?
Lorenzo, well, the capital now is Maputo.
Oh, that's right.
Back then was Lorenzo.
Well, as Lorenzo Marx.
Yeah.
So we would visit, and they had bullfighting. So they had these touristy kind of sticks with all the feathers around them, and you could go and watch bullfighting. As gross as it is today, it was a sport in those days. So you would see the matadors and how they fought the bull, and then there was this bread that they always baked in the sea sand because the sea sand is hot.
Yeah.
And it always came with bacon, and they had something called cassavo. And the cassava was awesome. So you would literally go for a weekend because it was that easy. It had a small border, through the border, off you went, and you were there.
Wow.
You know, you could camp. It wasn't that there weren't so many rules like there are around tourism today. It was relaxed. It was a lovely place to go, and the sea was also odd, because the water would go far out, and you could walk in the sea for ages before you could actually even get waist high water. And I think it's still like that today. So for us, it was great fun because we could go quite far out without having the danger of big waves. And I think it's part of the Indian Ocean. And then as the years went on, so we started to visit different parts in Yamban, Shai, further up is Vilanculos, where there are now flights. And then we were able to discover more and more of Mozambique. The roads were not great, and you always knew that. There was a thing. When you left South Africa, the roads aren't great, and that's just the way it was. But Vilanculos was beautiful, and we caught a yacht trip from Vilanculos across to Marguerite Island. And Marguerite Island used to be owned by somebody, and they built a hotel, and then they left the hotel, and it just became a derelict building on an island. But a beautiful island.
And also Inyaka Island is also there.
I hadn't been there.
Inyaka Island is Maputo, is off the coast of Maputo, yes. It's pretty much there. It's one of the famous destinations, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about my experience of Maputo. So it was probably about 25 years ago. I was about 22 years old, and I worked for this company called it was called iTech. I was selling photocopiers and printers, and won a competition at the company, and they flew us out, a bunch of us, to Mozambique, and we had so much fun there. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but we were in Maputo, and we just partied quite a lot. I remember how hot it was. One of the guys who was with us, his name was Gary. Gary was a young white guy, and he got so badly sunburned. I don't know, he got drunk the night before. He woke up in the sun the next day. And he was completely red. Like the whole body, he couldn't even wear his clothes.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, so that was my first experience. And then the second experience was on a cruise ship. It stopped at Mozambique. And then we did the Inyaka Island. So, what a beautiful island it was. So that's my experience of Mozambique.
Well, one of the times that I was there, just after my daughter passed away, we went on a yacht trip with my sister, who at that time they had built a place called Agua Negra, which is in Vilanculos, and they took us in a yacht for 7 days. It was the most beautiful, because there were dolphins always around the boat. It was gorgeous. And as we went around, I remember we stopped at Marguerite Island and we dropped anchor, and they said, go and snorkel. And then I could snorkel around the island. But it was too funny, because as I'm snorkeling around the island, all I could think of was, what if there's a shark? I swear it was the fastest snorkel around an island. I think I broke a few records, because I just literally whizzed around the island and came back again. But it was just so beautiful. I remember the visit was beautiful, and being in calm seas is also just amazing, because then it was, I mean, they've had obviously a few, what do you call them, typhoons,
Cyclones.
Tornadoes, cyclones, but that's because of where they're situated on Africa. You know, I know there's been some issues, especially around the Injamban area, is where they always get hit the hardest.
Okay, so that's our experiences about this beautiful country. But let's hear it from the man from Mozambique. How are you doing, my dear sir? Thank you for making time to come chat to us about your beautiful country.
Thank you, Uncle Zach. Thank you, Geniene. It's a pleasure being here.
Yes.
And I'm so glad to realize that both of you have been to Mozambique. So probably, it feels like you're probably going to tell me more about Mozambique than the other way around.
I love it.
Yeah. On the smile thing, let me say this. They used to say, you go to Mozambique for the sun and you stay for the smile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you should actually say what Mozambique is all about. My name is Sergio, as I said, and I'm commercial counselor, economic and commercial counselor at the High Commission of Mozambique into South Africa. And my responsibilities include promoting Mozambique as an investment destination and assisting those who want to do business in our country every step of the way. And likewise, I also assist those Mozambicans who want to do business in South Africa, because we need to have a paradigm change. Another way of describing my job is to say that I'm in the business of helping people to find their happiness in Mozambique.
Wow. Sure, that's a big task. It's a big ask. Okay, so just for anybody who doesn't know, what is the process? You want to do business in Mozambique? How does somebody get a hold of you, your office, and how do they go about setting up shop in Mozambique?
There's so many different ways that you can start a business in Mozambique. You can register online. You can come to the High Commission. You can go to, if you are in South Africa, you can go to any of the diplomatic missions across the country. We got one in Pretoria and one in Johannesburg, a general consulate. We have one in Nelspruit. We got in KZN and in Durban. We have one in Cape Town. So you could approach any of those diplomatic missions of Mozambique and you get all the relevant information that you need for you to start a business. Now, once you're in Mozambique, there are also different places where you can go to. We call them one-stop shops, just to make sure that you are hassle-free. You just walk into one office and you deal with everything that it requires for you to register a company, which is like ensuring that nobody else will have a company under the same name.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that registration first, and then register for our tax authority. You open a bank account, and you're good to go. So I would say in less than a week, depending on the size of the company and depending on the nature of the activity that you want to develop, you can start a business. Obviously, there are a few activities that by their own nature may require like environmental impact studies and stuff like that. But if it is just like enormous, like a service, in the service area or anything, or light manufacturing, probably you wouldn't need any of those. So it is very simple. It is almost like a straightforward process.
And I must say one thing, Mozambique is extremely clean. It's just the weirdest thing. But you know, when you travel through Africa, you notice things. And once you cross the border, I mean, between Komatipoort and Maputo, it's pretty much a highway. It's a dual highway straight into Mozambique. But once you leave Mozambique and you head north towards Berlin and up near Inhambane, a lot of the rural community have like their mud houses as such, but they sweep the ground. So the ground around their homes are clean. It's like swept. So you see them sweeping the sand. But it gives them this clean environment around which they live. And I always wish that South Africa would see things that way. If they could keep each of their homes clean, the area would remain clean. So so Mozambicans have a different viewpoint when it comes to how do we keep our area clean. It's not up to someone else. It's up to them. So I think pretty much like starting a business in Mozambique, they do business slightly differently to us, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they have a much different approach. They really look to the SME and small business market to make it. So they try their best to make sure that they give as much aid to those small businesses as they can. And I know that because there's a friend of mine called Natalie. She runs Dino's in, I don't know if you know Dino's, near Inhambane, and it's right on the beach. It's the most beautiful place to visit. Oh, my hat.
Oh, yeah?
When you sit on that balcony and you can see the sea, and it's right on the beach. It's a beach bar. And Dino's has been around for quite a long time. He was a Rastafarian man who came over and married Natalie, who's from PE, and they raised 2 sons, and they started Dino's the bar. Against all odds, that Dino's bar is still going.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's beautiful. And now she makes mosaic basins for lodges. So she does mosaics as well, because a lot of... because they've been hit by the cyclone a couple of times, they keep having to rebuild roofs, and their house recently burnt down, and it's just forces of nature. And you watch these Mozambicans rise from the ashes and say, oh, well, start again. You know, and they start again, build a new roof, and off they go. And she's so resilient. I said to her, why don't you come back to South Africa? And she said, no, I'm a Mozambican, actually.
Wow.
So I watch how her journey was also through tourism and making sure that tourism worked. A couple of mates left South Africa and started a lodge. And they try and have sustainability from a point of view, again, like Africa, where they grow their local produce. they try and sustain themselves as opposed to moving through that. So tell me a little bit about how the sustainability works in Mozambique as well.
Sustainability, if I understand correctly, you mean in terms of when you start a business, how do you...
Yeah, so no,
you keep
just
it-
growing food. So for instance, your food to table. Do you grow a lot of your own crops? Because I know at one stage, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was a story where you invited South African farmers to come and settle in Mozambique and help your agriculture to grow. And that was some years ago. And I presume that's evolved now.
Oh yes, look, South Africa will always be welcome to Mozambique to assist us on developing our agriculture for many reasons, because South Africa is doing very well on that field. And the second reason is that we got so much arable land available for agriculture, which can really feed the entire region. I'd say 36 millions of arable lands that we have. We're not even utilizing 1/3 of that land, and we got plenty of water. I will even say even more than enough water, because sometimes we go to air floods.
But you do feed your own country before you export?
Yes, we do.
So you do have excess. So
Yes.
when you've got
Yes,
a
we
crop,
do.
you keep some of it for yourselves and you export the
Yes,
rest.
we do. There are certain crops that, because of the climate, are not conducive to produce in Mozambique. Like for example, wheat, we have to import, or even rice. We do produce rice, but it's not enough to feed the entire country. So we supplement that. I mean the complement, the difference, the gap. We feel by importing rice. So yeah, I would say, but the country has the potential. There's the potential to feed itself and to feed the region. It needs to just to get the right partnership, and South Africa is one of them, the greatest one.
So do you find South Africa is one of your biggest exports or imports? Which would you say because I know we border countries, but do you import more than you import from any other country, or do you export to us more than you export to any other country?
Okay, let me put it this way: South Africa is our largest trading partner.
Oh, that's awesome! Good news! Woohoo!
Well, our trade balance obviously is negative in favor of South Africa. It's almost like $500 million in terms of trade deficit, which we need to kind of try and reduce. There is a potential to reduce it, because especially on the energy side, we export a lot of electricity and gas to South Africa, and we are also trying to increase our power generating capacity. And I think over time, this could also play a role in the trade deficit. So yeah, just in one word, South Africa is our largest trading partner, and it's the country that we share the largest land border, I would say.
And also you also border with Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Who are that's Beitbridge, I think the border is Beitbridge, am I right?
No, it's not.
What is your
Beitbridge.
bridge?
It's up in it's in the central part of Mozambique.
Yes.
Okay, and Beitbridge is in the south. It's
that's right.
It's with South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not Beitbridge. So we border Zimbabwe, we border Malawi, we border Zambia.
Actually, I forgot about
west,
that. They border Zambia and Malawi.
Yeah, and we also border Tanzania up in the north.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and in the south is South Africa and Eswatini.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that that has really grown knowledge of Mozambique is the cruise ships, because MSC bought Portuguese Island, or they rent Portuguese Island, and they built a whole infrastructure.
Oh, that's beautiful. I was
so
there, yeah.
the MSC cruise from Durban goes via
Mozambique.
they go via Portuguese Island, but they also go further north to Mozambique Island. I think there's another island called Mozambique Island, and Mozambique Island is the most amazing island I've ever seen, where it's it's hard to say, but it's got really historical buildings that aren't and haven't been renewed for a long time. So it's an interesting island to visit, and I think it could be the next Ibiza. You know, if you look at that island as it's currently standing, if they rebuilt some of those buildings, it's got the most perfect spot to be Ibiza. Is it Ibiza? Do you say Ibiza or Ibiza?
Ibiza, yeah.
To be a party island, because Africans look for somewhere to go party. And that island, in my opinion, is perfectly placed for that.
Wow.
No, you're
I hope
absolutely.
you'll
You're
consider it
no,
one
you-
day.
You know all about Ibiza. Come on
Yeah.
now, Geniene.
I actually have never been. My kids have been.
Oh, okay.
My son and my daughter have been, and they loved it.
Oh.
And I thought, imagine if we put something like that, because we've got a cruise ship that goes there. We have the access to the mainland without it destroying the mainland, because partygoers can destroy as much of money as they can bring in. They can also be destructive. So I think that could be. Should we build one?
You're absolutely right, Geniene. And you may also want to know that the Mozambique island has been declared UNESCO heritage.
Has it been declared? Because
it has
it
been
is
heritage.
beautiful.
Yeah. And you may also want to know that it used to be the capital of Mozambique.
Oh.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, many years ago. None of us were born back then.
No.
Wow.
And one of the things that the cruise ship does is, because it's unlike other cruise ships, if you look at cruise shipping around the world and you catch a cruise ship, you will always dock at the dock to get off. They roll out the little
Yes.
tunnel, you
Yeah.
walk out the tunnel and onto mainland. In Mozambique, that's different. They don't have a port at which you park. They have Portuguese island, they have to park a bit away, and then you put into lifeboats and you taken across.
Yes, that's the Portuguese island. Yeah.
But most people who catch that cruise ship don't realize that it's open to the elements. And if the elements today dictate that the sea is rough,
yes, that's
they're not going to put you in a lifeboat, and they're not going to send you to the island. So there's no point in having a wobble, because your safety is first. So if you're not going to be safe, MSC will not put you in a lifeboat. So I just want to say that openly. When I was on the last one, Portuguese island was the stop, and they sent out a letter and said, sorry guys,
the weather's
the
not good.
weather will not allow us to do this. We really apologize. Oh, did some people whinge? And I was like, did you catch a cruise ship just to get off? You know, it's the weather determines you cannot get off. You can read up anywhere. There is no port for them to stop at. In other words, like a harbour. Most cruise ships have a harbour. Our seas don't determine that. And our harbours don't allow for that kind of stop either. Except in Durban, where you get on. But you can't get off in Mozambique. Mozambique you go to because you want to see how beautiful it is. And then catch a 7-day it goes
There
north.
is a first stop in Mozambique where you can go into town, and then the second stop is the Portuguese
It just
island.
depends which cruise you take. Some of them are just the 3-night where it says Portuguese island and back to Durban.
So
Look, I really don't know how those cruise ships work, because yes, maybe you may not get off the cruise at Portuguese island, but you go to Inyaka with all the infrastructure that
That's what I'm
required for
saying.
the-
They should just,
Yeah.
if you want to go and visit Mozambique, go for sure.
So that could be a plan, that could be plan B. I mean, you can get off the Portuguese island, but you can go off in Inyaka
Inyaka
island,
and
which
Margarita
is just
Island
as
is
beautiful,
just-
which
yeah.
is just as beautiful with all the required infrastructure that any tourist or anyone going
And
to
there is
Mozambique for the
also a
first time.
great border post called Cozy Bay, which is just near
Yeah.
Josini,
Ponta de Oro.
that area, Ponta de Oro. And then you go to, and Ponta de Oro is just over the highway.
Yeah.
Just over the border, am I right?
Correct.
And you travel through some sea sand, but challenging, but hey, use a 4x4. So you go to, and it's so unspoilt. You almost go from a metropolis to an unspoilt, it's almost like its own island. Ponta de Oro is just beautiful. And you can camp on the beach if you want. I mean, that's how gorgeous it is.
So I just wanted to check, just in terms of your population size, what are we looking at in Mozambique? What is the population size?
Oh, yeah. Population now has grown to 31 million.
Wow.
After independence, we're 15 million. Now we're 31 million. So fertility rate is very high.
Okay. And then the population size, is it mainly old people or like middle-aged?
Hey,
No,
young
I would
people.
say
Just
it's
watch your
young
language,
people.
eh?
Sorry.
I would say it's young people, the population. I think it's young people, yeah. The majority, yeah, I'd say.
and they're great at track and sport. They have Maria, who
Oh,
is
yeah.
just, she's a gold medalist,
gold medal.
track star.
Okay.
800 meters.
Yeah. And then, so for people who want to go into business, what are the economy, like where are the opportunities in the economy of Mozambique?
Look, we got opportunities across many different areas. I mean, agriculture is one of them, energy, tourism.
Wait, energy
Okay.
how? Like to set up like you don't have like an ESCOM type of energy company?
We do have a power utility.
Okay.
But we're embarking on a massive program of rural electrification. We're also promoting renewables, for remote areas, or even for urban areas where, because the cost of electricity sometimes can be, challenging. There are so many activities that you can develop along the value chain of electricity that we encourage people to do business in. Tourism, industry, manufacturing sector, because we try as much as we can to encourage people to process our raw material, internally. We don't want to be exporters of raw material, but rather process them internally, develop our own industry. Agriculture, as I said, we've got 36 million of arable lands.
So please tell me, what do you grow best?
We grow best maize. I'll say beans.
Yeah, maize,
maize, beans, a little bit
fruit
of rice.
and vegetable.
Fruit and vegetable, yes. We grow a lot of fruits as well. You may also want to know that most of the bananas that are sold in South Africa are produced in Mozambique.
Oh, they're produced in Mozambique. I have a friend. His name is Paulo. Paulo built his limo business in South Africa on taking potatoes from Mozambique to South Africa and back. He transported potatoes in a limo that he first built. Wow. Backwards and forwards, and that's how he got his money to build more limos. It was because of the Mozambique run. So that was quite interesting. And that's why I know the potatoes are pretty good, because they've got it's like almost like yellow kind of potato.
Oh yeah, it's a different piece of potato.
They call them Irish potatoes, but they're gorgeous. Irish
potatoes.
Yeah, in the UK they call them Cypriot potatoes. In our country we call them Irish, but if they're yellow kind of in color, they're called Irish potatoes. And whenever you go to a big store, ask them for the potatoes from Mozambique. They're much better than ours, and for whatever reason they have a better ground, or they use less insecticides, or whatever it is they do.
It's very much organic.
Organic.
We use very little fertilizers on that. We also produced African wild potato. I'm sure that's where most of the African wild potato is imported from.
And what is your bread called?
Pardon?
What is the bread called?
The bread?
Yeah, your bread. You've got a name for the bread they sell on the side of the road.
You mean in Portuguese?
Yes.
We say pão. But
that's
this is baked with a firewood, I would say.
Yes.
that one makes it
just
that one gives it a special flavor, I would say.
It's baked in a firewood.
Yes.
Wow.
A firewood oven. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
That one gives it a very special taste, I would say.
Yeah.
And they have these really amazing little, as you travel north, they have like a restaurant. They call it a restaurant. But when you go in, it's basically got sugar cane. What do you call those? Cane? Like sugar a cane wall.
Yeah.
Then inside it's got little thatch roof sort of rounds with the table underneath it. And he says, what would you like to eat? And you say, well, I'll have some prawns, and because the fishermen are able to fish in the morning, and then they bring the fish to the shore, and they sell it to the restaurants and to the lodges. And then they say, would you like chicken? And you say, no, peri peri chicken. Your peri peri chicken best.
And
then,
the prawns?
Then you hear the squawking.
Yeah.
Then you know your chicken's fresh, because they've just killed the chicken at the back.
Oh, wow.
So you hear all the squawking, and the chicken arrives, and you go, how fresh is this chicken?
Yeah.
Well, we've just killed it, so you're all good.
Janine, we're going to listen to a voice clip that came through, because we wanted people to send us their comments and let us know what they think about Mozambique and experiences there. You ready?
Cool banana.
All right. All right, so if you just tuned in, thank you very much for doing so. And of course, this is Beyond the Itinerary. And of course, we are having an awesome conversation and just profiling this beautiful country called Mozambique. It's our sister country, just a stone throw away from us. And of course, let's hear what you have to say about your experiences there. Let's take a listen.
Hi, my name is Natalie Anderson Nordine. I've been a resident in Tofu, Inhambane, Mozambique since 1996, and where I fortunately met my husband, Mozambican, and together with our love for Mozambique and the environment, we decided to open a restaurant and beach bar called Dino's in December 99, simply to provide a venue to promote Mozambican culture and cuisine, something that we didn't have in that time, where tourism didn't exist yet, and we needed something to attract people to come and see and to experience Mozambican culture. While busy with our busy restaurant, we implemented a totally sustainable system, running a clean waste system. And this then led to community workshops where we teach people how to recycle glass in bottles into glasses, how to find sustainable income from the waste generated from clean waste. And also it's been an inspiration to the rest of people who have arrived and opened up businesses in Tofu, where probably 90% of the restaurants here in Tofu at the moment all use recycled glasses, which is very inspiring, very wonderful to see. And though through the creation of cutting all these bottles, ended up with a very large quantity of broken glass, which then led to another venture of making terrazzo glass countertops. So the terrazzo glass countertops are made 100% from recycled glass. The customers choose their colors, they choose their design, and we work together with them to create something totally unique and 100% sustainable, environmentally sustainable. And at the same time, teaching our community other alternatives on what to do with our waste. We are also, due to the recycling and constant concerns for environment, started making some mosaic wash basins, which all started with picking up a few tiles on a beach after somebody had rehabilitated their pool and thought it was a good idea to bury the tiles onto the beach. This then inspired me to use our Motamba clay basins to make wash basins, which are then unique. Motamba is an area as you come into Inyamban where the ladies make some beautiful handmade pottery, bowls, vases, whatever they can, they try. It brings an income for them. So the basins are excellent because it promotes their business of the Mozambican pottery, and also they are also totally unique and made with love and to show the beauty of Mozambique. So I would definitely, I've had a very adventurous and challenging 30 years being here, and we definitely would recommend that it is a venue of choice. You need to come to our area. You need to come to Mozambique. You need to experience the wonderful people, the welcoming nature, the friendliness, the beautiful beaches, the stunning environment. We have absolutely incredible sea life. We have beautiful views, whichever direction you want to go to. And make a plan and come and visit. You'll never regret it, and you'll definitely be back again. Thank you. Bye.
Wow. How does it make you feel? I mean, that was probably one of the best promotions of your country.
I'm speechless.
Yes.
I'm speechless, and she's a true ambassador of our country. All I can say is just...
Well, when we first met Natalie, we fell in love with Mozambique all over again because she invited us, one of the lodges invited us to Tofu, and we'd never heard of it. And we drove up, and just it was for my birthday as well. And just the things that we did, like we did kayaking, and the kayaking was so funny because eventually my husband and I just couldn't deal with this, who was turning left and who was turning right. We got out and walked, just carried our kayak because the water's not that deep.
Yeah.
But it became quite famous in, I think, the late 90s and early 2000s when Barra Lodge was built. And Barra Lodge did a huge amount of promotion in South Africa for package tours. At that time, package tours weren't that big in this country, but Barra Lodge near Nyambane really started to do. I'm not sure what ended up happening to them, but they closed eventually, and I think it was bad management because they brought life to Tofu, which is where Dino's is, and that's where I met Natalie, and just fell in love with it.
No, look, just to compliment what you said, bring your sunscreen, your flip-flops, and leave your waters at the bottom.
And you're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Just good to go. It's just beautiful.
And I know South Africans overall like to go to Mozambique for two reasons. To relax and to realize how little they've been relaxing.
It's actually our own, if you like, Hawaii. It's our own Jamaica, because we don't need to go away from all of that is here. It's on our doorstep.
Absolutely.
And it's unspoilt,
Absolutely.
which makes it really, really beautiful. And it doesn't matter how north you can go, as far north as Pemba. Pemba is very unique in that they have very unique buildings, and it's a very expensive part to go. There it's more of your villas and your kind of Sun City type environment. But where we are borders, and that's down at the bottom with Durban and near what we call Tiger Lodge and all of those places, go across to Ponta de Ora. It's like right there, and it's really an inexpensive but really chilled holiday. And don't look too far for internet.
Okay.
They do have it, but they're not thrilled on it. If you go into the main centers, it's all there. You can do all your banking, you can do all that stuff. But they try and encourage you to just remain in nature. Don't worry about all the tech stuff. You can come back and do that.
Yeah. So if we look at Mozambique, the young people, are they conscious? Are they busy? Are they active? Are they giving back to the country? Because we see a lot of apathy in very other countries in Africa where young people don't participate. They don't get involved in the issues of the country. How are they in Mozambique?
I would say, the youth are very dynamic. They try to get as much as they can in every possible type of activity. But this is not without challenges, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, we've got a worrisome unemployment rate, which is probably some of the challenges that we're facing. The youth is facing. But nonetheless, it did not reduce the enthusiasm, the dynamism of the young people to participate in all the spheres of our economy. And the youth are the future.
Sure.
Okay? Our population, especially if you consider that you have to replace the aging population, right? So yeah, in simple words, the youth is pretty much everywhere.
And they're also trained to participate in lodges and activities.
Yeah.
So in other words, if there's a diving company, 90% of the staff is young people from around the area. They get their diving licenses. I know from Tofu, a lot of the local community was involved in their diving because they have quite a big diving company there. And that diving company employed a lot of local Mozambicans so that they could get their diving licenses and they could create other diving opportunities up and down the coast.
Absolutely, and we have a small and medium scale, small and medium enterprise institution, small and medium development institution that supports a lot of startups among
and
young
they give you
people.
mentoring as well.
They give a lot of focus on women entrepreneur and all of that. So there are so many initiatives that through that government, institutions were trying to promote and encourage young people to take a more active role in the economy.
And there's a place called Kenjata. And in
Kenjata.
Kenjata,
Okay.
they have a lodge there that allows you to swim with the dolphins.
Oh my God, that's my kind of thing.
The most unique thing about that is they encourage disabled people. So if you are unable to walk or you're unable to, like you're disabled, they are the most unique spot where you can take that disabled person. They have people who are trained to work with disabled. You then get put on a boat and they are then lowered into the water with a guide, obviously, and they're able to swim with the dolphins. And we sent, together with Outsurance at the time, we sent 3 or 4 disabled people to go to reach their dream of going to swim with the dolphins.
Wow.
And we took them to Kenjata and they swam. We have the most amazing videos and pictures of them underwater, feeling free for the first time in whatever many years. Some of them had never walked. Some of them had walked. So underwater, they didn't need to use their legs.
Oh.
So it's almost like floating in space for them.
Yeah.
And it was covered by the Beeld at the time. And just amazing to watch these people they never stopped smiling after that. I mean, it was an experience, and they did it twice. We were there for 2 days and 3 nights. So the first night they prepare them, they make sure their tanks are ready, and because they get tanks and all the rest. Those that were unable to manage their own tanks had somebody with them who would manage the mouthpieces, etc. So just again, another Mozambican, because the waters there are a lot calmer than our seas. Our seas are very rough.
And warmer?
Warmer, definitely warm. You want to go to warm water? Go to Mozambique.
Yeah, we used to say in Mozambique we got 2 seasons, okay? Summer and a slightly warmer summer.
Beautiful.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
So especially over December.
Yeah.
But there's so many unique things about Mozambique that I think you guys are so quiet about.
Well,
You should have billboards telling people these stories.
we're trying as much as we can. We develop different websites. But it's never enough, right?
Yeah.
It is never enough. But we've got people like you. We've got like the lady from
Natalie
Tofu.
from
I mean,
Dino's.
those are the true ambassadors of Mozambique.
But it's also great to be able to talk to schools because it's a safe country. So when you cross the border,
I was going to ask about that.
you know, there's safety. Like in every African country, like we had the nonsense. Remember when we were raiding stores?
Uprising and stuff
Yeah,
like
remember
that.
we had that.
In
They had
KZN,
that.
yeah.
So you kind of just say, okay, we won't go today. We'll go next month. It's one of those kind of things.
Oh.
Everybody has an issue about something. It's either usually around what do you call it, elections.
Was
And then
that
everybody has a wobble.
resolved? Has that issue been resolved now? Because there was an uproar not so long ago.
Oh, thank God it has been resolved. It's now behind us.
Okay.
We're now trying to rebuild the country. With a new administration in place that took over in January this year. Yeah, so it's been very tough time, but it's behind us, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
now
if
the
you
country
remember.
is busy trying to heal.
And then let's talk about development, because the issue of the roads and other infrastructure that needs to be rebuilt, is that part of the plan to rebuild the country, not just people and how they feel, but also from an infrastructure point of view?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We've got a very dynamic Minister of Transport and Logistics who is touring the country, seeing the status of most of the critical roads and putting together a plan to rebuild those roads. I'm sure, yes, Geniene was right that a few years ago it could be very challenging to travel by road to Inyambano, to Vilankul for that
But you see,
matter.
they have those
But now-
cyclones.
But now yes. Now you can travel. Now you can travel freely. It is a massive program, infrastructure. Program. In place. We attribute a lot of importance to that for all the obvious reasons, of course. And one of them is being the fact that the agriculture or the farms, you need to be able to get the agricultural produce from all those different farms
From point A to
into the
point B.
marketplaces. So you need good roads, and you need to be able to make people transport goods from one place to the other. Because unfortunately, during the colonial period, due to the geographical position of the country, which were on the eastern coast, were mainly aimed to serve the hinterland countries, okay? Which is why most of our infrastructures were built east to west, north to south, or south to north.
Oh.
Yeah. So after independence, the government, all the governments that were in power, they attribute a lot of importance in building internal infrastructure, railway lines, highways, okay, even power lines for that matter, because Kahora Bassa, which is our largest hydro dam, which supplies electricity to South Africa, the power lines were built to transport power from that dam into South Africa, and then from South Africa into the southern part of Mozambique. That's how it used to be, because
at
we were
more
aimed
expensive price.
Yeah, and we were paying the wheeling charges that ESCOM we charge us, the wheeling tax that the ESCOM will charge us. But now we are building that infrastructure. It's not the case anymore, because we are now having our internal power lines supplying different parts of the country with electricity, because there's a growing number of also power generating infrastructure being built. So yeah, that was the challenge back then, and now it remains. It's on top of our priorities to build internal infrastructure that can allow. The free movement of goods from one point to the other. We also attribute a lot of importance to cabotage, you see, because we got 270 kilometers of a coastline, so we have to make a maximum use of that by transporting people and goods to the Indian Ocean from south to north.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, the interesting thing is as well, when you drive from Mozambique, when you drive from Maputo north, and it says it is 200 kilometers. In South Africa, 200 kilometers is roughly 2 hours. In Mozambique, it's 4.
Oh.
And the only reason it is like that is because you have to do 60 kilometers in their villages, and the villages are roughly between 5 and 10 kilometers apart.
Okay.
So as you're driving north and you just leave one village, you think, here we go. You
Open
slow down,
road,
because
yeah.
if you don't, their cops will stop you, because it's very important that you do not drive fast through their villages, because the villages is a place where people meet and congregate and sell and market. So it's not a highway, it is a roadway. And you need to recognize that when you cross over in your big Fortuna or whatever car you're now used to driving very fast in South Africa, life in Mozambique is slower. So when you start to travel north, just remember, chill.
Okay.
Because you cannot do more than 60 for most of the way. Am I right?
Yes, you are right, and which is why it is. One of the projects that is being developed or to put in place very soon, hopefully, is to build highways in such a way that when you're traveling from one point to the other, you don't necessarily have to go through towns.
But you know what?
Unless if your destination is one of those.
I know, but
villages
it's
or
so
towns,
sad, because look at South Africa. We are able to travel from Johannesburg to Cape Town in 12 or 13 hours because we have a highway.
Yeah.
But all the little towns that subsisted as a result of that journey, the little towns that had a bed and breakfast, or that had a place to stop, or that sold something to those travelers, were completely cut out. And we only and we know it's for logistical reasons and to get trucks up and down and for us to get there faster. But I don't know if faster's necessarily better. We missed all, and I still till today miss that little cafe that we could always buy a great fat cook, because we can't anymore, because we no longer pass that way. We now fight the trucks on the big concrete highways, and they don't look after our side roads anymore. They only look after, Sanrail only looks after the highway. So the other roads have kind of deteriorated somewhat. But we've missed those little tourist spots that. So what I'm saying is, I don't look forward to those highways. And I know you need them.
I do, because it's really cumbersome. If you are traveling, say, for example, from Maputo to Shai, which is my hometown, you have to cross so many villages along the way.
I know.
And that makes you slow down, because you're quite right. Once you reach a village, you have to slow down. 60 kilometers per hour. But this is not how it should be, okay? If you had a highway, you can only go to that village if your destination is that village, right? You don't have to be forced to go to that village. Okay, so I think,
listen, there's a yin and a yang to everything, and I get that. I just say sometimes I know we need the technology of the highway. We couldn't live without it. I couldn't be at the studio on time. So I get it. I just say there's a nostalgic part of me that says highways sometimes take away the journey itself, even though it's a necessary thing that we do need, and you do need it, let's face it.
Yeah, but remember, in every highway there are off-ramps, right?
Yeah, I
that
know.
will take you everywhere you want to go.
But you're kind of so keen
that's
to
not
get
an
to
excuse.
Berlin or to Shai. And by the way, Shai is spelled with an X. It's X-I-A.
That's where you come from.
Yes, exactly.
How big is your village?
It's quite
it's now
sizable.
a town, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Quite sizable.
It's still.
I'd say it's
rural? Is it a rural area? Or is it
no, it's a city.
It's now a city, yeah.
Oh, it's a city.
And it's got one of the most lovely beaches as well.
And 10 years ago, best you fill up in Maputo. Because I think the next station was in Inyambane, where there was an airport. Like Inyambane had an airport, and so is Vilanculos. They're regional airports. but you need to fill up, because when you stop along the way, got a long wait.
Yeah. My last question to you before we move, because we got about 8 minutes to go. Just on the issue of technology, you're looking at media, you're looking at telecommunications. How are you in terms of that infrastructure? Are you moving with a fast pace in terms of 5G, and so is internet access available to as many people in your country as possible?
Oh yes, I mean, remember we're living in a digital area, so
Sure.
we couldn't afford to be left behind, because by doing so, I mean, we only had to lose. So yes, we are developing our infrastructure in a very satisfactory, space. I would say we got 3 mobile service, providers. We got a lot of the government is putting a lot of focus on digitalization of our telecoms, and we're also looking on artificial intelligence as well. Yeah, so we don't want to be left behind in that, because that's the modern trend, I would say. And
I must
if you
say
really want to
Mozambique
develop,
will
you
always
need
be
to
close.
catch up on those issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Mozambique will always be close to a South African's heart. Those of us that remember Lorenzo Marx camping on the beach.
You mean the older generation?
You know, the 1960s and 70s, it was the
The
place
baby
to go, because there were
boomers, okay.
very few borders open to us. Remember, we had sanctions up the yin yang, and Mozambique refused to lock us out. So we were able to go, we were able to listen to the radio, because a lot of those radio presenters came over and started a radio station called Radio Today. And that's where it kind of came over with. And now they've still got LM Radio. LM Radio has started up again. And a lot of people listen, because it plays that music from that era. But just, we were grateful to have another country to go to. Swaziland at the time also didn't, well, they were landlocked with us anyway. They didn't really have much choice. But Mozambique had a choice. And their choice was to allow us to continue to trade and to travel. And for that, I thank you, because I'm older than Uncle Zach. So I remember those days, and I remember them fondly. Until today, most of our mates still go, were you going for Christmas? No, we're going up to Ponta de Oro, we're going to Mozambique. Because it's easy to get to.
Absolutely. My dear sir, you've got about 2 minutes to tell people about why they must come to Mozambique and why they must invest in Mozambique, please.
Look, we used to say Mozambique is not just a destination, it's a feeling. And once you feel it, you don't want to leave it, right?
Yeah.
So we've got so many opportunities, so many investment opportunities, which is the reason why we're encouraging people to come and invest in our country. We've got attractive tax incentives, okay? We're not perfect, but we're perfectly located for investment and for a fantastic holiday, unforgettable holiday, I would say.
And affordable.
And
Don't forget affordable.
And affordable,
Yeah.
so thank you, Geniene, for that. We're not neighbors by geography, but by the number of South African number plates you see at Mozambican filling stations as well. Okay, which tells a lot.
Yeah.
So bring your biltong, we'll bring our piri-piri, and we'll be unstoppable.
Beautiful. Oh man, I love it. Thank you very much. And then what's your currency again?
Metical.
The
Metical,
Metikai.
One rand is equivalent to 3.5 meticals.
Really?
Yeah.
So we got more spending power coming that side.
Yeah.
More than
promised
enough
you,
reason.
as a holiday destination, and now from what I hear as a business opportunity,
Yeah.
Mozambique is just so open to that. And as I said, they may as well be a province of South Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, really, why don't we just quit the visa? And you don't need a visa. You just need a passport.
You sound like some people I know across Atlantic, eh?
Yeah.
And am I right? No visas?
Look, Mozambique is really open for business. Honestly, it's not. Mozambique is open for business, and if you do business in Mozambique, the returns will surprise you.
Yeah.
It's just like the traffic in Maputo, Carmen one day and Carnival the next.
Oh, wow.
And you don't have any visa restrictions
No,
for South Africans?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's
Another
visa-free.
visa-free country for South Africans.
That's beautiful.
Even if you are on a business, because there was a time when if you're going to Mozambique for business, you'll be required to have a business visa, but not anymore. If you are going to Mozambique for business, as long as you don't stay longer than or in a period, greater than 30 days, you require no business visas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if you intend to stay more than
there's
30 days for
also-
business, that's when you'll be required to apply.
You're required
for
to
visa.
apply for a visa.
Yeah.
But one of the good things is as well, there is a transport that goes from South Africa to Maputo every day. There's little buses, mini buses that have been started by companies who travel, and they pick you up at a Shell garage in 4 ways,
Yeah.
drive you through to Inyambane. So there's that kind of up and down scenario. Yeah, it's South Africans and Mozambicans just developed a system that worked for both, because those that opened businesses over there needed their staff to come backwards and forwards, and flying is expensive.
Yeah, but it will become affordable, I believe, sooner, because you got about at the moment you got 2 or 3 airlines flying in and out to Mozambique.
Wow.
Not only to Maputo, but connecting different capitals in Mozambique. So I believe, flying will become affordable. But even by road, I personally prefer to travel by road, because especially on the
It's just you
N4
leave when you want to.
N4 highway, it takes about 5 to 6 hours to get from Pretoria to Maputo. Yeah, there are a few challenges, there are a few issues that both sides will need to resolve, South Africa and Mozambique. We are doing our part, like trying to push the concept of one-stop border post to make sure that you stay at the border the shortest time possible. So we're improving the infrastructure, and we are where the post-border procedures to make stuff smoother. So I believe the future looks very bright, and maybe next time we meet.
We got to meet in Mozambique. There's no doubt we are not meeting you here. We are, because you've got a travel expo coming up as well.
No, we've got an international trade fair.
And when is that?
It's the 25th of August next month until the 31st. It's one of the biggest. It's the biggest international trade fair. So you guys are invited to.
Then we have to have a studio.
Okay.
I don't see there being any reason why we can't.
All right.
I think we're in.
Sounds good.
I mean, geez, we got to go and have a swim in that warm ocean.
Yeah. My dear sir, it's been wonderful chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate. Thanks for educating and empowering us. And I hope all South Africans listening and watching will be able to take up the opportunities you talk about. And you're like our sister country, and we appreciate you. Or our brother country, should I say.
No, it's a sister, because I'm a girl, remember?
I wasn't thinking about you.
All
right, thank you very much.
Thank you for
Sergio,
having
it's been
me.
such a pleasure. I'm Geniene and Uncle Zach
it's
on
been
Beyond the
wonderful.
Itinerary, where we unpack, uncover,
Yeah.
and give you more spaces to visit. And thank you once again, Sergio.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
good one.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got another guest who's going to be joining us. We'll talk airlines on the other side of 12. Let's do this.
The blankets are made by thousands of people, and they all sit there doing it absolutely free. This is what their gift to the back to the community.
And that's what Nelson Mandela did for us.
Mm.
He made us a community, even in other countries. To think that even in other countries they celebrate 67 blankets provided. It doesn't matter what you do. It's taking 67 minutes of your day and giving it freely to someone else.
Yeah.
So even if it's cleaning your dad's car, I'm hoping my grandchildren are listening, because my car badly needs a wash.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, don't they want to just donate 67 minutes of their time?
What an interesting way of throwing it out to them, eh?
Yeah, but
use a radio platform to just tell your grandkids to do something.
Teach somebody something.
Where and how do you choose the people that deserve them?
A form that people can get hold of the head office, a beneficiary form, and they can request. Otherwise, I find I was able to supply the hospices. We did all the hospices.
And the scarves are free. They
Yeah.
put them on trees,
Yeah.
and people help themselves.
And the strange thing is, not only poor people. We hung them outside a restaurant in Norwood, And there we're waiting, watching people go by, and a guy reverses out of his house in his Merc, stops, gets out and takes 2 scarves. And I was like fuming, thinking, they're not for you, but it's actually for anyone. I've quite often got some stock, and I'll get a phone call that the bomb blast in Benoni that went off.
Oh, yes.
Then I shot through there, and I met with another charity, and I supplied blankets to all the people the kids that were left behind. So we were able to distribute blankets and give love.
That is so awesome.
So, we go where we're needed. Anybody can do this.
And my sister
is
it another
easy?
One.
It's easy. Kids do it. The younger generation today are all on their phones. Even when I see the kids at home now, they so this young guy doesn't go near his phone. He spends his time crocheting.
That's incredible.
And it improves the young people's motor skills, the development of their wrists, so they can go into many different spheres. I take my crochet and I sit there amongst the hordes of people, and I crochet, and people's eyes like pop open.
Because it's a man. He's
Yes,
crocheting.
this dude crochet.
It's a dude.
How's this dude crochet?
Tired of the stresses of every day? Imagine an escape where luxury meets tranquility. Welcome to Peace Haven on Lagoon, your private oasis in Scotborough on the south coast. Step into an architecturally designed masterpiece crafted for ultimate comfort and style. Picture yourself unwinding by the sparkling pool, sharing laughter around the braai, or simply soaking in breathtaking views of the Indian Ocean. Our spacious ensuite bedrooms and open-plan living areas provide the perfect setting for relaxation, family meals, or quiet sundowners. With solar power and a consistent water supply, your stay is effortlessly convenient. Plus, our top-notch security ensures complete peace of mind. Discover the feeling of true relaxation. Peace Haven on Lagoon. Your perfect getaway awaits. Visit peacehavenonlagoon.com to book your escape today.
Blankets are made by thousands of people, and they all sit there doing it absolutely free. This is what their gift to back to the community.
And that's what Nelson Mandela did for us. He made us a community, even in other countries. To think that even in other countries they celebrate 67 blankets provided. It doesn't matter what you do. It's taking 67 minutes of your day and giving it freely to someone else.
Yeah.
So even if it's cleaning your dad's car, I'm hoping my grandchildren are listening, because my car badly needs a wash. So I'm thinking, don't they want to just donate 67 minutes of their time?
What an interesting way of throwing it out to them, eh?
Yeah, but
use a radio platform to just tell your grandkids to do something.
Teach somebody something.
Where and how do you choose the people that deserve them?
A form that people can get hold of the head office, a beneficiary form, and they can request. Otherwise, I find I was able to supply the hospices. We did all the hospices.
And the scarves are free. They
Yeah.
put them on trees,
Yeah.
and people help themselves.
And the strange thing is, not only poor people. We hung them outside a restaurant in Norwood, and there we're waiting, watching people go by, and a guy reverses out of his house in his Merc, stops, gets out and takes 2 scarves. And I was like fuming, thinking, they're not for you, but it's actually for anyone. I've quite often got some stock, and I'll get a phone call that the bomb blast in Benoni that went off.
Oh, yes.
Then I shot through there, and I met with another charity, and I supplied blankets to all the people the kids that were left behind. So we were able to distribute blankets and give love.
That is so awesome.
So, we go where we're needed. Anybody can do this.
And my sister
Is
is
it
another
easy?
one.
It's easy. Kids do it. The younger generation today are all on their phones. Even when I see the kids at home now, they so this young guy doesn't go near his phone. He spends his time crocheting.
That's incredible.
And it improves the young people's motor skills, the development of their wrists, so they can go into many different spheres. I take my crochet and I sit there amongst the hordes of people and I crochet and people's eyes like pop open.
Because it's a man. He's
Yes,
crocheting.
this dude crochet.
It's a dude.
How's this dude crochet?
Tired of the stresses of every day? Imagine an escape where luxury meets tranquility. Welcome to Peace Haven on Lagoon, your private oasis in Scotborough on the south coast. Step into an architecturally designed masterpiece crafted for ultimate comfort and style. Picture yourself unwinding by the sparkling pool, sharing laughter around the braai, or simply soaking in breathtaking views of the Indian Ocean. Our spacious ensuite bedrooms and open-plan living areas provide the perfect setting for relaxation, family meals, or quiet sundowners. With solar power and a consistent water supply, your stay is effortlessly convenient. Plus, our top-notch security ensures complete peace of mind. Discover the feeling of true relaxation. Peace Haven on Lagoon. Your perfect getaway awaits. Visit peacehavenonlagoon.com to book your escape today.
Are made by thousands of people, and they all sit there doing it absolutely free. This is what their gift to back to the community.
And that's what Nelson Mandela did for us. He made us a community, even in other countries. To think that even in other countries they celebrate 67 blankets provided. It doesn't matter what you do. It's taking 67 minutes of your day and giving it freely to someone else.
Yeah.
So even if it's cleaning your dad's car, I'm hoping my grandchildren are listening because my car badly needs a wash. So I'm thinking, don't they want to just donate 67 minutes of their time?
What an interesting way of throwing it out to them, right?
Yeah, but
use a radio platform to just tell your grandkids to do something.
Teach somebody something.
Where and how do you choose the people that deserve them?
A form that people can get hold of the head office, a beneficiary form, and they can request. Otherwise, I find I was able to supply the hospices. We did all the hospices.
And the scarves are free. They
Yeah.
put them on trees.
Yeah.
And people help themselves.
And the strange thing is, not only poor people. We hung them outside a restaurant in Norwood, and there we waiting, watching people go by, and a guy reverses out of his house in his Merc, stops, gets out, and takes 2 scarves. And I was like fuming, thinking they're not for you, but it's actually for anyone. I've quite often got some stock, and I'll get a phone call that the bomb blast in Benoni that went off.
Oh, yes.
Then I shot through there, and I met with another charity, and I supplied blankets to all the people the kids that were left behind. So we were able to distribute blankets and give love.
That is so awesome.
So, we go where we're needed. Anybody can do
And my
this.
sister
Is
is
it
another
easy?
one.
It's easy. Kids do it. The younger generation today are all on their phones. Even I see the kids at home now. They glug, glug, glug.
A nice navy blue suit that kind of looked very good, and I'm excited to chat to him about what he does. All right, is there a challenge with your mic? I think you're going to have
Hello.
to...
Challenge with the mic?
I can hear that mic. That one is a bit of a
It's a
problem.
bit of a problem.
Yeah, I think maybe if we can put it in between so
We'll
that we
share.
can... Yes.
Myself and Isaac will share.
Yes,
Sharing is
please.
caring. of
Sharing
course.
is
You see.
caring. Thank
And let
you
me
very
introduce,
much.
we'll start from this side of the table since
Yes.
we've now commandeered the mic.
Okay.
On my left, I have Isaac Malindwe from Vamos Travel Africa.
Yes.
And on my right, I have Giovanni, who is the General Manager Africa for TAAG Airlines.
Wow.
So we're all Africa encompassed
Yes.
today, including us.
Yeah.
You're Uncle Zach, I'm Janine Preston, and you with Beyond the Itinerary. Because what is itineraries? Itineraries is about travel.
Yes, it is.
And we focus on Africa. And I think focusing on Africa gives us an opportunity to promote this amazing continent of ours. Because all too often we always say, we're off to the States or we're off to Europe. But actually we should be off to somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
Look at this Mozambican gentleman. I mean, Sergio, just once we started talking about Mozambique, you couldn't stop him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you could see he was used to talking the serious stuff.
Yeah.
Until we came along with Pau and cassava and the great food and the Lorenzo Marx memories. He has the same memories we have.
Yeah.
And they're all good, which is great.
Absolutely.
So yeah, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we want to learn a little bit more about. Let's start with TAAG.
Yes.
So Giovanni, you have to tell us, where did TAAG start? Where does the journey begin?
Well, it's an airline that got an history, and it's of course it's an Angolan, very proud airline, and the journey has been long, 80 years, and a lot of things are happening. In the last few years, the government has decided to invest. Airline is like, it's just creating business. It's creating income in business. It's not just people traveling, as you said, overseas, whatever, but there's a lot of people coming to the country. You want to develop the country, you need an airline. Take the example of Qatar Airways and Emirates. What they did in the last 20 years.
True.
You build the airline, you build business. If you don't get this, we got some issues. And in the last few years, TAAG has decided, the government, of course, with the backup of the government, has decided, okay, let's do something about it. It's not an easy process. It's not something that happened from today to tomorrow. There is a lot of investments to do, and it takes years. It's like, to give you an example of buying an aircraft, it seems like, you want to buy a car, you go to the dealership and you buy a car.
Yes.
And you get it. Oh, it's there, or in a month, in a week, whatever, unless it's not the latest model, you wait maybe 6 months. With an aircraft, you order it today, you're going to get it in 3 years. Sometimes in 4.
Wow,
My
I didn't
goodness.
realize that.
And
thought it was a little
sometimes, of
Yeah.
course, depends on the model. Sometimes it's quicker. It could be in a year and a half, 2 years. And then it's not just you buy a plane out of the shelf and it's done. No, there is you get the aircraft, you need to do the interiors. It's all different companies. You even to choose the engines, and it's so complicated. And you plan today for the next 15, 20 years. This is how an aircraft can fly, even more. Depends how much maintenance you do. Is your choice. And how convenient it is, because technology evolved and your engine, it's like cars. Many years ago, a car would use so much fuel.
Yes.
Fuel efficiency equal to 0. Nowadays, we're all very cautious, and new cars, it can drive so much more with the same amount of fuel. Aircraft is the same thing. You choose your strategy, you buy the aircraft. Small, medium, big, and whatever you do, then you pay the consequences.
Yeah.
If you do the right choice or the wrong choice. TAAG has invested in, is a mix of a fleet, medium, within Africa. We just recently purchased the Airbus 220. It's a beautiful aircraft, and we already received 3. We bought 15. So slowly they will come in, but it takes, the whole process is going to take probably another 2 years. And then we purchased long haul, the 787, the Dreamliner. And again, it's a 2-year process. and but we ordered them 2 years ago, and we received one. We're gonna get another one soon, and next year some more. So it's complicated. It's a very complicated industry.
And how does, just from a technical perspective,
Oh, don't be too technical.
if you have to order an aircraft 3 years in advance, how far in advance do you plan how many aircraft you buy? Like, what is the decision that you make that says we need 1 or 2 more aircraft? What are the things you need to know on how many aircraft to order?
You need to do a lot of homeworks.
Okay.
Really a lot of homeworks. It's based on your business plan. With the new aircraft, not necessarily you increasing your fleet, but you're also replacing your old aircraft. So this is exactly, for example, also we have some 777 that we decided to sell and dismissed. So we're going to replace them with the 787, the new one. But then there is your 2-3 years plan of where you're expecting to start flying to.
So new routes, new destinations.
New destinations, and there's a lot of it's a complicated, business plan of how much money you expect, because also how much money you expect to make. Your route has to make money and profit, otherwise you just stop flying.
Wow, that's really, and it obviously is driven by tourism as well, because if its hub is Angola, it's how many people are coming in versus how many people are going out.
It's all about, it's always a mix. For out of Johannesburg or Cape Town, let's talk about South Africa, we have 10 flights a week from Cape Town and 9 flights per week out of Johannesburg. Of course, we're aiming to get double daily. That's the whole idea. And it's always a mix of traffic, of people. Of course, there's a lot of incoming from Brazil, for example, from Luanda, and from Portugal. A lot of outgoing. Again, within Africa, this is where I'm trying to push the company to make sure that in Luanda they're connecting to whatever destination we fly in Africa. Because there is, in my opinion, there is a desperate needs of connectivity. Air travel within Africa is a problem.
Really?
Yeah, it used to only fly up and down.
Today you want to
to
fly to, you pick a destination, Entebbe. Really, you can go with the Ethiopian. You got a couple of options. Maybe it's not even flying every day. So it's really complicated. So this is where we're expanding within Africa with new destination. We open in Nairobi in September, and then we're trying to focus on Angola. Angola is trying to promote itself as a touristic destination. So out of all the passengers that are flying out of South Africa, we expect people to stop there for business, for leisure, and other people, of course, will continue their journey to the final destination. Again, it's as I said before, the right word is complicated. There's so many actors, so many people that needs all together. Have a plan. The airline, the country. Now we're launching. It's already open a new airport in Luanda.
Brand new
a
airport.
Brand new airport. It's already been operating for the last year for domestic. So, just to make sure that everything works well. And by the 1st of October, all operations, all even our flights out of Johannesburg, we land at the new airport.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful airport. Really.
Wow.
Beautiful.
In where? In Luanda?
In Luanda. Luanda's the main the capital and the hub of TAAG Airlines is Luanda. Because when you fly to Portugal or you fly out, you go via Luanda.
All flights, of course.
Is this owned by TAAG or is it
it's
a
owned
country?
by the government. Yeah,
Okay, because I was
Called
wondering.
TAAG Angola Airlines.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then how long have you been the GM?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Since
And you aren't
2.5
speaking
years.
Swahili yet.
I'm struggling.
No, just generally throughout Africa, there's kind of a common language like Swahili.
I'm already struggling with English. It's not my first language, so let's not. No, but Spanish. I'm pretty good with Spanish.
It's close.
Languages, you get to a certain age, it becomes very difficult. Your memory is full. So,
You were telling us earlier offline that you are Italian.
I am.
How did you end up in Africa, especially in beautiful country.
in South Africa for an
In South
Angolan,
Africa, yeah.
Angola airline. Well, actually, my first posting
Okay.
when I was 26, 27, I for the first airline I worked for was Alitalia, the Italian airline, and my first posting was in South Africa.
Oh.
Funny enough.
And you fell in love with it and married a South African.
And yeah, I got here with one suitcase, and I left with a wife and a container full of shoes and bags. And so then I worked for Alitalia, I worked with Qatar Airways, and I worked with Emirates as well. I've been moving around. You name a country and a continent, I was there. So from Japan to Argentina, Canada, Russia, the UK, now I'm forgetting, in Doha, in Qatar, and then again, it's a small. The airline industry is very small. We all know each other. Okay. So sometimes you receive a call. I need you. Can you come? And I need someone in South Africa looking after Africa for Angola. It's a new project, a new idea. And I liked the idea. I said, yeah, coming. A month, I was already here.
It's amazing. And you know, TAAG is so unique in that it flies to places one normally had to go a number of stops to get to. So, for instance, Sao Tome and Principe.
Okay.
That was the most unique. There's unique things about all airlines, and TAAG, Angola Airlines, does that. They fly to Sao Tome and Principe, which is a tiny little island off the Horn of Africa.
Oh.
Normally before, you had to kind of fly to Mali or Burkina Faso, somewhere out there, catch a road transport, maybe catch a ferry. Kind of 3 days later, you'd get to your destination. Thanks to TAAG, we're able to fly to Sao Tome and Principe, and you're able to fly to places like Cuba. So it's not having. Remember, we spoke to Venezuela last week.
Yes.
And to get to Caracas, you had to fly from Joburg to Sao Paulo, from Sao Paulo to them.
Oh yes.
So there was a 2 airline because it's code share. It's what they call code share. With TAAG Airlines, they try and go as direct as possible to the places you want to go. So like from Luanda, you can fly direct to Lisbon. So you don't have to go via the UK to get to Lisbon. You can fly direct.
Wow. How competitive is the industry? I mean, we've seen our own South African Airways took a bit of a dive, but now apparently it's coming back up again.
South African Airlines is the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Oops. How difficult is it to compete in the airline business?
It's very competitive. It's extremely competitive. And then, of course, it's not always the same. Depends on the routes, destination, how you positioned. But it's extremely competitive. If you if you ever been on the internet on some apps that show you all the flights, like Flight Radar, I don't want to do any advertisement, but it's free. There you can check how many aircraft are flying right now. You can see that we're talking about thousands, and it's just, you're not alone. You need to compete with service, with price, of course. Is again, people, I think that the first thing they look at is how much it's going to cost me for myself and for my family to travel from point A to point B. So you need to be competitive, and the experience has to be as much, decent as possible. Because again, nowadays everybody's struggling. We're getting back to pre-COVID.
Wow.
More or less
Numbers.
volumes and revenue. The industry took a dive for the last 4 or 5 years, and finally we're getting better, and it's even growing. So airlines are competing to each other. We're competing on every route. We got someone. In some cases, we're the only one. So we can play the game differently and try to maximize our profit, like any business would do that.
And I think you'll also find that TAAG Angola Airlines has been they also are very sympathetic to some causes. And recently there was a case in the news where some young students went over to Spain and their coach bought only one-way tickets. And we don't know why. Not their coach, the tour operator that managed their trip bought one-way tickets.
What?
Yeah, and they were stranded. They literally were stranded. And thanks to TAAG, they came to the rescue and helped them with really low fares to be able to, because the parents who sent these children are not wealthy parents. They are parents from low income areas. And they managed to raise a bit more money and raise money through Facebook. And there was a whole campaign which TAAG stepped in and said, okay, we will take whatever you raise. Or I wasn't in the room, so I'm not sure what but I just read in the news. And I just thought, wow, that is so humane to do that, to step in and say, what can we do to help get these children home? We're not just a big corporate that doesn't care. We actually care about these kids, because I think they were, wasn't it in Spain or Portugal? Where was the...
Well, the whole story apparently of the kids actually went to Spain.
Oh, was it Spain?
Was in
Yeah, then I
Madrid.
was right. It was Spain.
With 25 kids, I think,
Yeah.
roughly. 28 with the adults,
Yeah.
with supervisors. And then, again, I don't know the story of why they traveled with one-way ticket, but somehow
But somehow it just
they were
happened.
there
Yeah,
with
we went there.
one-way ticket. So I think was time to go back. They realized there was no ticket. So again, I don't know how they end up in Lisbon. So the organizer maybe sent them to Lisbon. And I remember I was, watching the news or reading the paper, talking about looking at these kids. I said, and I was thinking, how is it possible that they are stranded one way? I said, okay. And I thought, well, if were my kids stranded somewhere, I would really be concerned. But that was it.
Yeah.
I thought that the story would never even touch me, honestly.
Yeah.
and then, funny enough, the day after, we got a call from, remind me, it was Sao Dias from DB Travel. And because someone in the community was trying to find a solution, so they called us, and Susanna, that is the sales manager, immediately got involved, and we had a chat. What can we do? We got these, let's say, 30 kids, 25 kids stuck in Lisbon, and it's high season, so flights are full.
Yeah, they're at capacity.
We flying twice a day with a wide-body aircraft out of Lisbon, and still flights were full. So we made a plan. So we divided, I think, the group in the whole crowd in 3 different groups. We found 15 seats there, 12 there, 8 there, and we made sure that each one of them had a supervisor, of course, traveling with them. And I think within one day we fixed everything, and we just got the seats.
How cool
Keep
is
them
that?
as, the best price as possible, and honest, between Susanna and also my colleagues in head office, they were extremely helpful because they confirmed the seats straight away, not following the rules, let's say, and we made it. It was not a...
Because at the end of the day, even
That's beautiful,
airlines are
man.
humans.
Yeah.
We all have children and families
Absolutely.
and children's, listen to my English. But doesn't it just show you that sometimes things can be done when... And that's where social media really starts to work. Because the cry went out on social media, can anyone help us? You know, we're now stuck in a situation not of our own making, just because they trusted somebody else. You know, and they stepped in and the kids got home. The kids are now all safely home, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
the last group was on Saturday, on Sunday, landed in Cape Town.
They all arrived.
Is this recent?
Yeah, it was like
Well,
recent,
everything
as of this
started a week ago.
What?
It
A
was
week ago.
A week
That's
ago.
incredible.
And the children were from the Cape Flats that went to play
Yeah.
a soccer tournament in Spain. And the parents spent, I don't know, every waking moment raising money. Like 50,000 Rand we're talking about here. We're not talking about a minimum amount of money. 50,000 Rand to take these children. Each child cost 50 grand to take over.
That's crazy. I wanted to just check on, unless you want to jump in.
No, it's for me. It's one of the things I'm impressed with. Is actually TAAG's destinations of points of contact within Africa, because Africa is one of those destinations that as you said earlier on, within the connectivity within Africa is very, very poor. And if TAAG is going out to reach out all these, Nairobi is a new one, probably Kinshasa is already existing, Future, Uganda, whatever it is. I think it's the growth for Africa itself. I mean, one of the other points you made was about where you fly alone. We had also a problem where we could fly sometimes. Uganda Airlines had no flights, and KQ was flying between Entebbe and Nairobi.
Yeah.
That flight was almost as expensive as going to Europe. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, and I'm very impressed with the number of planes that you have. That's also a good point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The issue of the fuel, the jet fuel. Where do you get it, and do you get it in South Africa, or do you get it? How do you get it? How do you determine what do you buy? Because I know motorists are always crying here in South Africa.
Jet fuel is different.
Yeah. But it's not very different. It's different companies, so it's like different gas station, virtual gas station at the airport, and we do contracts with different companies. That could be some are massive, huge, and they go. They are present in every airport, some they're not, and we do different contracts. And depends on the flight. Sometimes does it need to refuel to go back or not, and you just land and you have a contract with someone. They come and refuel quick.
Yeah.
But there is always a contract and a negotiation behind, and there is multiple actors. You just choose. Some cases could be only one.
And because Angola is the 23rd largest country in the world. I don't know if you knew that.
23rd?
23rd largest country in the
big,
world.
Eh?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
size-wise is huge.
Wow.
But it also has a lot of regional airports. So unlike a lot of the countries in Africa where the regional airports is a challenge because they're still growing, it's like us developing our railway system.
Yeah.
It's the same as they've developed their regional airport system. And their regional airports are pretty cool because they reach most parts of Angola. Is that also a TAAG operation?
Yeah. We are very strong domestically. I mean, there's so many flights, as you said. The country is like South Africa. It's huge. If you want to reach Cape Town, what do? By train,
No.
You're driving, you need to fly. So also in Angola, we're reaching all the different airports. They're also going through, new. They're trying to renovate the airport, make it more friendly, doing a lot of investments. Also because there is a lot of businesses. It could be oil and gas related, minerals and whatever that are keeping, of course, Angola economy strong, and. We operate a lot of daily operation everywhere, as much as we can, because it's a big country and it's a big population as well.
What's the population?
Don't ask me that. I'm a lawyer. And, it's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
What are the plans for TAAG going forward for more destinations in Africa?
Well, as I said before, Nairobi is
The currently
first
open
flight
batch,
is going to be the 1st of September.
Yeah.
And then we have a few plans to open other destinations. We got another 3-4 in the pipeline. And
in Africa or
in
outside?
Africa, we're talking just Africa. And we just planning again. Is a mix: aircraft availability, crew availability, and then we're gonna start. So, but it has to be a sustainable growth. There's nothing worse than just opening left and right, and then you're gonna find yourself in trouble, because opening a route is not easy. You can't expect fantastic results from the very beginning. You need a little bit of time to create also the market and create the demand that is there, but also a lot of people start flying to one destination because you have a flight.
Yeah.
If you don't have a flight, don't even think about it. And the example of low-cost carriers in Europe, I think it's perfect. They fly the most funny O&D destination, origin and destination that you would never think of, and they just created the demand.
Oh.
And where do you fly to currently in Africa?
Right now, we're flying Maputo, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Windhoek, Kinshasa, Brazzaville, Sao Tome, Lagos, Nairobi is next, and all domestic, of course. I'm not naming them. There's a lot of domestic destinations. And then we fly to Lisbon, Sao Paulo, and Havana. That is more of a seasonal right now, but we're still flying there. And long haul, of course, we have some plans to open some other long haul destination, maybe in the Far East. Far East, we're looking at Far East and Europe.
Well, the good thing is we can go to Venezuela now
Okay.
because they fly to Sao
Sao
Paulo.
Paulo. Yes. Okay.
So there's a bonus for you.
There we go. So exciting.
Mr. Venezuela's going to smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Your staff complement, what are we looking at? I'm sure you're just growing by the numbers. Do you have a big staff in your airline?
Well, again, you grow according to your needs.
Organically.
Okay.
That's what it is. There is nothing, an airline industry, your margins like other industries, but especially the airline is very slim. So you really need to make your calculation right. And of course, staff like fuel is the biggest expenses.
Yes,
And so right now we are actually, there's a lot of recruiting going on, especially for crew. Is where I think all airlines are desperate for crew.
Do you still have a height restriction for air hostesses?
Oh, yes.
I'm not aware of it, but I'm sure
Because
that
in the days gone by,
But
you
I'm
had
sure
to be
there is.
5 foot. I think you had to
They
be
don't
5'8".
anymore. All these airlines don't, because you all see all sorts of heights.
I
weights.
know, you see, because it's discrimination
Before-
otherwise.
Exactly.
But before, you had to be a certain height
but
to
at
be
least
able
he
to be
needs
in the-
whoever is going to be hired. They need to fit into the aircraft at least.
They can't be taller than the car.
Taller than the cabin, it would be quite challenging. Over the years. No.
Yeah.
And is your demand for first class and business class still higher than coach class?
Well, it depends what we're talking about, money or volumes. In terms of volumes, there is no
Volumes,
comparison because the number of seats that are located to business class compared to economy, it's a small number. But in terms of money, of course, every time you sell a business class ticket, it's a good day.
You get excited.
You get excited. And the demand is there. The load factor is very high. There is a lot of demand for business class.
I think that's amazing. And your loyalty program?
And we working on it. We have one, Umbi, and but we working on a revamp. We're doing a lot of things step by step. We just launched a brand new website.
Okay.
New technology, really cool. So we're adding step by step more and more functionality. But it's there, been live for the last couple of weeks. And business class, we revamped the business class, really nice on the new 787. It's a nice bed, very comfortable, a really good configuration. And business class is a major source of revenue for us. You fill up your business class, you're happy.
You're happy, yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I saw your social media is quite active as well. I was looking at your TikTok and other platforms. I see a lot of involvement by your staff actually doing the actual ads, which I found quite interesting. I couldn't understand the language because it's Portuguese. Yeah. But very well done on that factor. How important is communication on your side?
Well, as I think it's key. If you don't communicate, you don't let your potential consumer know your brand, what do you do, why are you there, where you flying, what are you selling. I think you're not going anywhere. And that's why the team, social media in Luanda is very active. Very young team, very nice people, and they really like what they do. And again, it's part of reviewing and making sure that TAAG is perceived differently from before. It's part of the ongoing process.
And I think with the growth of TAAG and the re-emergence, call it a re-emergence, because that's really what's happened, because TAAG have been around for a long time.
You did say 80 years, eh?
Yeah.
Hopefully I got it right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, cut this part.
Okay.
But they're also trying to grow the visits to Angola. Because essentially with our history with Angola, it was always a friction between South Africa and Angola, but that's long since gone. It was in the 80s. Now we're looking at Angola differently, whereas people, when they used to stop in Luanda, they were too scared to leave the airport. It was kind of like, well, we've caught TAAG, but we'll just wait here before we move on, because what happens when we leave the airport? But it's actually such an emerging tourism destination that it's wonderful to visit, that you should actually consider when you're using TAAG is making TAAG your stopover for longer than 1 day. As far as I know, you don't need visas, or do you?
No, you don't visa.
You don't need a visa for a South African.
No.
So why not make it, especially with South Africans leaving the countries that they've immigrated to, TAAG is now very available for them to catch to come here. So why not stop over, spend a week in Angola, and then come home? Because by the time you reach Joburg or Cape Town, you have a round of visits of people to see, and you haven't really stopped and visited. So it's a really good destination to stop and visit and then continue your journey, especially now that there's more airports opening and more stopovers from TAAG, more destinations opening in Africa.
And sorry, allow me to add that actually Angola last year removed visa requirements for almost all countries around the world.
Really?
As, before, even with my Italian passport, I had to get a visa to get into the country. They remove any restriction for more than 100 countries around the world. That was already last year. So when I get to Luanda, just show my passport and I go in.
It's one of those e-stands. They've now got the e-stands.
No,
Or
nothing.
don't you have e-stands yet?
No, it's just there, show your passport, you
them.
get in.
Yes.
Yeah, and go, because you go
This is the next step.
But it's a very good thing for Africa, because you see, I can understand why over these years, all these centuries, Africans going into another African country is a problem.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's been one of the limitations. So Angola removing the requirement of a visa and more African countries doing the same, you are going to see a lot of growth, and you know, it's easy to travel because you don't have to think about, let me first get a visa, how much does it cost, where do I go to apply, where's the embassy? All this stuff is a complication for no reason. So kudos to Angola, you know, I think I like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So your biggest competitors, who are the ones that you look at and say, in the next 5 years, these are the people to beat?
Well, first we need to decide where we want to be in 5 years.
First.
So what is our vision, what we want to do, and etc., etc. And of course, then on top of it, as I said before, your competitor is mostly the one. It could be different airline, depends on the destination. So to Lisbon, out of Luanda, of course, TAP is our competitor. They also fly direct. We do fly direct, so we're competing. From South Africa, flying to Sao Paulo, we have direct flights since a year and a half ago, give and take, from LAN and South African Airways. So before it was just us. So we had to change our strategy. We were the fastest way to get to South America, to Sao Paulo, but we were by ourselves. Then they go in, and of course what we notice is, again, what I said before, you put more flights and the industry grows so much.
Competitors come.
Because there is more availability.
Even the demand on the route.
The demand went up. And we are actually, with the numbers, back to, we got a bit of we be hit badly at the beginning when they start flying directly. We lost a lot of passengers. But then slowly, the demand growth. And right now, I think we're making the same amount of passengers as before direct flights were introduced.
Wow.
Because you put flights, and you got the demand.
And it's pretty much like Booking.com. If you use Booking.com as an analogy.
Okay.
Booking.com brought in the ability for them to market to a wider audience, because everyone went to booking.com to do a booking. The same as Kayak and all of those, they drive the knowledge of new airlines. And so like when they open a new route, for instance, to Nairobi, all of those sites will begin to carry that airline. So people go, oh, I see TAAG now flying there. But instead of looking at those, if you like, booking sites, the airlines offer a similar fare. All you have to do is with new websites like they have, they run comparisons all the time. So they know what their yield factor needs to be. So they then offer a similar fare so that people don't have to go and do fare comparisons. Booking.com, you'll find a lot of the lodges, because they're losing revenue on those high booking percentages, they're actually offering customers the same price, thereby not having to pay those commissions. So even though there's less seats available at that price, at least now they know TAAG is going there. Let me go and have a look at TAAG. Let me see when they fly. Let me see what their pricing structure is. So it's a much better deal, and you can get onto their loyalty program, which means that the more you fly, the more likely you are to gather flying miles. I think they called it air miles or flying miles. You know, when you fly and you get a loyalty program. On the airlines, it's like an they've got different names for them, but they're miles. You essentially gather miles.
You can redeem them and get free tickets. But then it's not always the price. Sometimes it's what kind of additional services you get. Might be the same price, but if you fly with TAAG to Sao Paulo, maybe you get 2 bags. And maybe South African Airways, I'm just making an example, or land, you fly direct, fine, but it's only 1 bag. So price and depends on what you or the customer needs that you want, you know, they're looking for.
And also the schedule. Schedule's a big
of course,
thing.
is a big part. Is a big part of it. But depends who your target audience is. Is it leisure? Is it business? People in order to save money, would be happy to stay 8 hours at the airport and wait for the next flight. There is a lot of people, but they're saving a lot of money, so they're happy with that.
So just determining prices, I mean, that must be a nightmare coming up with the price, especially if there's no route and other planes going that way, because then you could look at their prices to come up with yours. But if you're the pioneer into a new area, I'm sure there's a lot of mistakes you make there with your pricing.
Well, your basic assumption is how much does it cost to operate that flight?
Okay.
Once you got that right, and it's not that simple, but once you get that right, you can start evaluating, okay, how much is the load factor? How many passengers do I expect to be on board of my flights operating to that destination? And it's a mathematical thing. And then there is so many software nowadays. All airlines have special software to do it. They make a lot of calculation and make your life much easier. And you said, on other routes, we just look on what other people are doing, and we decide, okay, we're going to go lower, or we're going to be more expensive. Depends on how competitive we are.
And you also have airport taxes. Airport taxes are not just for you to pay. They pay landing fees. So some airports are more like OR Tambo is hugely expensive, and so is Cape Town Airport. So when you decide to land there, there's the landing fees. Like we've got Lanseria. Lanseria Airport's fees are a lot lower, but the airport's a lot smaller, and they don't have such long runways. They may not have a long enough runway for an Airbus A380, for instance, whereas OR Tambo has. And if you look at when OR Tambo was built, 1 million years ago, I think it was in the 70s, they didn't know that area was going to be built up for housing and urban development, because, I mean, where it sits right in the middle of a city.
True.
So there is nowhere else for them to go to build longer runways. They're going to have to kind of
move people,
remove some houses and highways. And
you do like we did in Luanda. The old airport is right downtown. You just have to say, okay, we're building a new airport, but we're going 30 kilometers out of the city.
Out of the city.
Where I got the space to create and build the brand new airport as
build a new one.
That's it.
Wow.
That's why most big airports, also in Europe, the big one, the most recent, are out of town.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
but,
much better.
You know, because of the evolution of airports as well, and how their people and countries have grown. When they first built those airports, they were actually far from the city.
Sure.
Just that the city has now grown and the population has increased. Eventually, it catches up with where the airport is, and the airport finds itself surrounded. You know, and they don't realize, you know, if you don't plan properly for the future years, they have a limited number of land, which looks like a lot of land at that point. You know, in the 60s or the 50s, when most of these airports were set up, the land looked like they had a lot of land. The planes were smaller, the runways were short. Now, as the years went by, the planes became bigger, the runways required a longer, the passengers have increased. So moving out of where you were is the only option, you know, 30 kilometers away, and you build a new one. So I'm not surprised that that's what you did, because you don't shut down this one, but you just have to build another one somewhere.
Absolutely. And then the food on the plane, is it Mozambican influenced or how?
No, Angolan. You got the countries wrong.
Sorry, Angolan influenced or I wanted to say Portuguese and I said
They still speak Portuguese in Mozambique as well.
yeah. So is it that kind of taste in terms of food, or like how do you choose your food? Because you know it's beef or chicken or like
Or
what do you
something
serve?
else. Of,
Yeah.
you know, not only beef or chicken.
Sky chefs.
Well, again, yeah, it's all again related to what companies are
providers.
providing
Yeah.
your catering services. Also, there is a very complicated. I know I had a chance to visit one of the big catering company here in Johannesburg, and it's amazing. If you never had a chance, please go and see how they do it. It's just amazing, the process.
Wow.
You just, you know, you see the tray that they give you, but behind it is such, it's so interesting to see how many people are actually working. How do they divide them per flight, per airline?
True.
And every airline had different requirements, different cutlery, different plates, different, and the menu get changed, and the options is incredible. So we're working on it as well. Is part of the process of course, getting more of a taste of Angola, of course.
And you obviously have, like in Uganda Airlines, they have wooden cutlery, because it's very much about sustainability, and a lot of the airlines are now going that route and moving away from plastic.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So it allows them more sort of that it's biodegradable. So we don't add to the plastic pile. And TAAG are also going that route.
yeah. Sure. Absolutely
So
beautiful.
very well done on that.
Okay, so how do you describe you as a leader? How do you describe yourself as a... I know it's a bit of a difficult one.
Because it's a difficult one.
Okay, next question.
Next question. Where did you find these?
I don't know, they just come
He's
to
not
me.
here for an
They just come-
interview.
So am I getting a job? Okay, let's see.
Let's see. Are you you know, a tough leader? You are not authoritarian?
I'm very democratic.
Very democratic.
As long as you do what I say.
Exactly. I agree with that statement.
I love it.
No. I don't know. I always get confused with, you know, what is leadership or whatever. I mean, is at the end of the day, you work in your work environment. You got colleagues, and for me, the basic is you need to lead people, inspire them. But we're all colleagues. We're all working together. It's not just somebody does something wrong, it's his fault, and fine. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. We just have to remember that we're working for a company that pays our salary, so we need to perform, and we need to make sure that the job is done properly. I'm here to work with everybody else in my team, like in head office. I am bringing my we're getting almost close to 30 years experience in the airline industry.
Wow.
So I've seen a lot of things, and I'm here to help and just make sure that whatever the company is asking is delivered, because that's the most important thing
I think it's important for every airline.
for every business.
Yeah,
For
for
every
every business as well. So
Absolutely.
I think as TAAG Angola Airlines, in terms of your way forward for changing anything, I mean, you guys have had phenomenal growth in the last couple of years, because before, if you said TAAG Airlines, everybody kind of said, where did they fly from again? Now it's sort of, they're one of the major airlines.
It's still a long way to go. It's a process, as I said before. It's going to take a while. So fleet awareness, marketing, communication, new airport, everything is happening together, but is going to take a few years. And new planes, and as you said, the growth is there. We're very happy with the performance in South Africa, but like in Mozambique, most African countries there are performing very well versus last year. So we just we need to keep going.
Just my last one. You did say that you fly from Cape Town and Durban, but do you fly locally from Durban to Cape Town, or just
Cape Town and Johannesburg?
Cape Town and Johannesburg.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not flying yet. You mean domestic?
Yes, domestic.
No, they don't
we're
fly
not
domestic.
allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not allowed to do that. Okay.
Another, of course, every country got its rules. Civil aviation, DOT. That, of course, as Africa, we see there is no open sky. Open sky like in Europe, in the US, where anybody can fly from anywhere. There's been an ongoing process for years talking about an open sky agreement, but still haven't been approved by all African countries. So for any airline flying to any country, you need a permit, an authorization, and you can't fly as many times as you like. You can't fly with any aircraft you like. You can't fly into any destination. It has to be approved by local authorities. So in South Africa, they approve every year. In Mozambique, same thing, in any country. So there is a lot of bureaucracy, unfortunately.
It's called AOC licensing. Because you are licensed, like airlines that are licensed to fly within South Africa, they have to have a South Africa license, domestic license, which, like the Golden Triangle, these Durban, Cape Town, Joburg. If they get that license, they like a for away. And then people like Airlink are allowed to fly to certain destinations in Africa. But again, it's a process of saying where they are allowed to fly. And certain airports can't take more traffic than they already have because of the length of their runways, and so there's quite a bit of and there's obviously guys in South Africa, for instance, who fight to keep their license and not allow other airlines to come in because it's a competitive thing. So you know, but it's a big story.
Absolutely. You've got about a minute, sir, just to convince our people why they should fly with you.
Wow, that's a tough question.
Yes,
Why?
I mean, I'm a tough
Well,
guy.
it depends on why they want to fly and where they want to go. I mean, all I can say is that TAAG has made, in the last 2 years, tremendous efforts to become a very reliable airline. We are on-time performance has improved dramatically, and we increase frequencies everywhere we could. We are very competitive from price perspective, I assure you. Anybody can check it online, as we talked about it before. And again, we still a long way to go, because there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, but I can only say that from the reaction and the numbers we actually making in most countries, but in South Africa, people are very pleased. I receive a lot of compliments and positive feedbacks, and that's important. Like with any airline, something can go wrong, even with airlines that are 5-star airlines, can they lose their baggage, it can be delayed, flight can be cancelled. This is part of the industry, unfortunately. I mean, it's not perfect, and security and reliability is very important.
Reliability and being on time.
You know, even there, like your bag, it's on the airline shoulder, but it's not always
party.
us.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a third
sometimes
party.
you're delayed because there is an ATC issue, a traffic controller issue. There might be a bad weather somewhere, so all the traffic is being diverted another way, and because it's a virtual highway that you don't see, but the aircraft do, of course, they might say there's a traffic jam, you need to wait.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes, and then you're going to be allowed to take off from Johannesburg because there's a lot of traffic over there. It's not that just aircraft are flying wherever they like. There are routes.
Yeah.
And even the bags, you lose your bag and you blame the airline. But we don't manage the bags. It's an airport company that does. We don't take the bags.
Yeah.
They do. They manage them. So, but we take full responsibility. That's another little thing that actually, it's a lot. It's a big cost to us, but it's not necessarily our fault.
My dear sir, it's been absolutely amazing. It's my first time I speak to a general manager of a company that deals with aeroplanes. So this was actually amazing.
It's an airline.
But I'm dealing with people.
He deals with Africa.
You're dealing with people.
It goes on an airplane.
Giovanni Simonini. I hope I said that right.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure having you in the studio.
pleasure. Thank
TAAG Angola Airlines, General Manager for Africa. Just learning more about the airline industry, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you.
And hope to see you in many, many more airports. And Isaac Malindwe, Vamos Travel Africa, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
It'd be so nice to talk to you next time about TAAG arriving in Entebbe.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it.
Uncle Zach, see you next week.
We're back next week,
And
my
we're
friend.
back next week. It's Women's Week, so we are talking to one lady who was the first diesel mechanic for underground machines, underground mining machinery, and another lady who is in charge of women in agriculture.
We're looking forward to that.
See you next week.
Thank you very much. This has been Beyond the Itinerary. And of course, I'm so excited to have been here today. And we're back again next week. Thank you so much to all our guests. I hope you enjoyed it. We're back again next week. We're out. Peace.
Thank you.
Blankets are made by thousands of people, and they all sit there doing it absolutely free. This is what their gift to the back to the community.
And that's what Nelson Mandela did for us. He made us a community, even in other countries. To think that even in other countries they celebrate 67 blankets provided. It doesn't matter what you do. It's taking 67 minutes of your day and giving it freely to someone else.
Yeah.
So even if it's cleaning your dad's car, I'm hoping my grandchildren are listening because my car badly needs a wash. So I'm thinking, don't they want to just donate 67 minutes of their time?
What an interesting way of throwing it out to them, eh?
Yeah, but
use a radio platform to just tell your grandkids to do something.
Teach somebody something.
Where and how do you choose the people that deserve them?
A form that people can get hold of the head office, a beneficiary form, and they can request. Otherwise, I find I was able to supply the hospices. We did all the hospices.
And the scarves are free. They
Yeah.
put them on trees.